Hello everybody, and what is going on? So firstly, I'd just like to say a massive thank you for the 5,000 subscribers. That's absolutely mental. We have come such a long way. I just want to give a big massive shout out to everyone who subscribes to my channel, everyone who likes my videos, everyone who comments, everyone who leaves me questions for the Q&A videos. Everyone, you man are actual legends. And secondly, I just want to give a quick reminder that the Kishi Kaisei t-shirts, aka the askm8 merch, whatever you want to call them, is going to be available at 7 p.m. tonight on askm8.bigcartel.com. A lot of dots there. So today I thought it would be a good idea to do a Q&A video. We got a lot of questions this time around. Unfortunately, I couldn't answer every single one, so I just picked up like a handful of them. So if you got your question answered in this video, nice one, bruv. But if you didn't get your question answered, don't get discouraged, because I do a lot of these Q&A videos, so there's plenty of opportunity to make it in the next one. And with all of that being said, let's get straight into the questions. So the first question of the day is opinions on yard sale. Now, I've been following yard sale for quite a while now. I mean, I can't remember how I came across them exactly. It might have been on Instagram or on YouTube or whatever, but I do remember the first thing I saw from yard sale, and that was their skate videos. I love their particular style of skateboarding. I love the theme of their clothes. I love the theme of the brand in general. I definitely think it's one of those underrated brands which needs more recognition in my opinion. So the short answer to my opinion on yard sale is very positive. Next question, day or night? TV shows are better at night. Dinner, the best meal of the day, is served at night. The Watershed starts at 9 o'clock, and even Radio 1 is better at night. Next question, tea or coffee? Tea, milk, 2 sugars, gang gang. What made you want to start YouTube? Now, personally, I wanted to start YouTube because I always need a project on the go. I've always enjoyed taking pictures and making videos and all of that, so jumping onto YouTube was definitely a natural progression, and here we are. I hope that answers your question. Where do you get your outfit ideas from? Now, I got asked a very similar question, if not the same question, in one of my last Q&A videos, but I'd like to expand on it. So in my last video, I said that I've got a private Instagram account where I put all of my inspiration pictures on there. If I see a picture that I like, it doesn't necessarily have to be about fashion. I'll put it on the Instagram feed, so you've just got like a massive board of pictures that you like, making it a very good source for inspiration. Now, that's only one source of inspiration. Fashion inspiration or outfit inspiration can come from anywhere. It doesn't even necessarily have to be about fashion. You could get your fashion inspiration directly from people who post like outfit of the days, clothing Instagram accounts, streetwear lookbooks, community pages. That's just one side of it. But for me personally, I try and find a multitude of different sources of inspiration, like art, music, films, photography, locations, general themes, art. Have I said art? It's a little bit hard to explain, but outfit ideas and fashion inspiration can literally come from anywhere. And I hope that answers your question. Biggest supreme grail. So the biggest supreme grail always has been, is right now, and always will be the T-Bird. Next question, favorite song? P.S. I love you, with a French flag. Firstly, thank you, love you too. And secondly, my favorite song changes every 5 seconds. But at this very moment in time, I'm loving X. Look, he's made a little X sign. That's how much of a fan he is, bruv. But any song by X, King is a very good one. It's got a nice Nevada feel to it. I've recently made a Spotify playlist of all the songs that I'm listening to, and of course, I'll link that in the description down below. But X. Definitely X. Next question. What do you think about Fila? Now, personally, I've got a lot of good things to say about Fila. Ever since the resurgence of these vintage streetwear brands like Champion, Fila, Kappa, Diodora, etc, etc. Ooh, LS or LSE, whichever one it's pronounced. Ever since the revival of all of those streetwear brands, or sportswear brands actually, sportswear brands, I definitely think that these brands have had quite the journey. They've been adopted by so many different subcultures, used for so many different looks, but I definitely think that Fila as a brand now is one of my favorites of the streetwear brands. I like the general message of Fila. I like the idea of being a little bit alternative and just plain and simply not the same as everyone else. For example, the Fila Disruptors is this big clunky shoe that not everyone would feel comfortable wearing, and that's what I love about the Disruptors and this entire brand in general. It's different, it's vintage, but it's fresh at the same time. A really good combination. Do you rate chains? Now, personally, I really do like chains. I just haven't got round to getting myself one yet. I see chains as just another fashion accessory. I know a lot of people use it for status and this, that, and the other, but as a fashion accessory, I definitely think that chains are very, very versatile, very very, very useful. They can break up an outfit or tie it together. And those are my thoughts on chains. Opinions on the Supreme Louis Vuitton collab. Now, personally, I thought that this collaboration was inevitable. It seems to me that classic high fashion brands have definitely been making their way into street style recently, such as Versace, Gucci, and now Louis Vuitton. Now, those high fashion brands have been around for a very long time now. Even when I was a kid, I remember hearing about Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Versace, etc, etc. But those high fashion brands were never really incorporated into street style, whereas now they're all over the place. So with high fashion brands on the rise in street style, it was only a matter of time before Supreme picked one of them up for one of their next collaborations. They know how to take their own message and the brand that they're collaborating with message and mesh them well together. Now, I haven't been paying that much attention to this collaboration, but I have seen a few pieces like the infamous trunk, which costs like 56,000. There's rumored to be another box logo hoodie involved, but as a collab, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what comes out. Favorite upcoming streetwear brand. Now, I've been following a few streetwear brands recently, but the one that really stands out for me is Carrots. Now, I'm just re-familiarizing myself with Carrots' Instagram feed, and it's definitely one of those streetwear inspired, but with a tinge of contemporary there at the same time. And they also print on Champion, so that's always a plus for me. But yes, I'll leave a link to their Instagram page in the description down below as well if you want to check them out for yourselves. Next question. Do you prefer monochrome fits, black, white, etc., or loud fits, yellow, purple, etc.? It's down to the mood. If I feel I want to be a little bit more low-key when I go out, don't really want to think about my outfit too much, then I can just slap on a black and white outfit together. It's pretty much a safe bet. But there'll be some days before I go out and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, right, today I want to stand out. Today I want to look different. When I'm feeling like that and I'm looking for being different, being loud, that would normally involve colors like yellow, red, denim. Favorite piece that you own? It always has been, is right now, and always will be the P-Wing. What's your most anticipated sneaker this year? The Air Jordan 4 Breads. Umbro, Fila, or Champion. Now, personally, I like all of these brands, but at this very moment in time, it has to be Champion, because like everyone knows how much I love Champion, then Fila, then Umbro. Tommy Hilfiger or Ralph Lauren. Now, this is a really hard one. This is like asking who's your favorite child. I really do like vintage Tommy Hilfiger, but vintage Ralph Lauren though. Ultra Boost caged or uncaged? So in my personal opinion, I've always thought that the Ultra Boost uncaged was basically a pure boost. I do like the uncaged Ultra Boost, but for me, when I think of the Ultra Boost, it has to be caged. What are some of your favorite Instagram accounts? One is Poor Shots, Snob Shots, High Snobiety's actual Instagram page, ASAP Rockies, and Round 2 Hollywood, simply because I love seeing vintage clothes. What do you think of people wearing thrasher but they don't skate? PS, I wear it and I do not skate. Okay, so this topic causes a bit of controversy or controversy, however you want to pronounce it. Like, oh, you wear skate clothes but you don't skate. Now, for me personally, I do think that that's a bit of a redundant argument. Just because you don't skate doesn't necessarily mean that you can't wear skate clothes. Like, every sneaker in general has a theme to it, like the Air Jordans. Can you only wear the Air Jordans if you're playing basketball? And any of the Air Max series, from the Air Max 1s, the Air Max 90s, so forth and so forth and so forth, they're meant to be running shoes. So is that a case of you can't wear Air Maxes unless you run? And we could go on and on and on. But in my personal opinion, a brand cannot progress, the culture cannot progress, the community cannot progress, fashion in general cannot progress if we all stick to our pigeonholes and don't take inspiration from elsewhere. So in my personal opinion, I think it's absolutely fine that if you wear Thrasher or any skate brand but you don't skate, because again, that's how cultures, brands, communities, fashion progresses. Just a little bit of food for thought there. If you could collab with anyone for your merch, who would it be? Now, personally, I would love like an old sportswear brand to collaborate with. At this very moment in time, I would either pick Diadora, Kappa, or Fila. What do you think about brands like Supreme and Champion becoming more mainstream? So again, I think this ties into this previous question about wearing skate brands and people who don't skate and whatever. It sort of ties in. So brands like Supreme and Champion do get a lot of attention, and without a doubt they have become more mainstream recently. But again, like I said before, it is a natural progression. The more people like something, the more mainstream it's going to be, the more successful that brand's going to be. Like Supreme, in the last few years, it's really blown up. More and more people have been getting into Supreme. But in general, I do think it's definitely a good thing for brands to get mainstream, because it moves everything forward. It moves the brand forward, it moves culture forward, it moves the whole community forward. And what I mean by that is, if a brand does get really, really big and really, really mainstream, that brand is doing their job right, they're making their money, they're popular, they're doing their thing, and at the same time, people will be sitting there like, oh, now this brand is a bit played out now, like loads of people are into it, I'm gonna go find something else. So then they'll find another brand and then the whole process will start again. So I guess the short answer to that is being mainstream is a natural process. It's necessary for moving things forward. It shouldn't necessarily be seen as a bad thing. You just have to see the big picture. Next question, opinions on the new Yeezy V2s. Now, I have to admit, when I first saw the V2s, I didn't really like them, but that's because that you're comparing them to the V1s, and let's face it, the V1s were absolutely amazing. I've come round to the idea. I've come round to the V2s. I like the V2s now, not as much as the V1s, but I would definitely buy and wear a pair. What clothing brand do you think is on the come up? Places plus faces, or places and faces. What is your favorite piece of the Supreme Spring Summer 17 preview? To be perfectly honest, I am really feeling this Van Gogh hooded sweatshirt. And the last question of the day is, what is your favorite pair of Air Max and what would you fit it with? So my favorite pair of Air Max is the Air Max 90 Warhawks. It's a stunning shoe, but unfortunately I have no idea what I would wear it with. It's just such a loud shoe, but I think due to its colorway, I think neutral colors would definitely be a good shout. And those are all the questions for today. Again, I just want to give a big massive shout out to everyone who asked me a question for this Q&A video. Sorry if your question didn't make it into this video, but again, I do these Q&A videos quite frequently, so there are plenty more opportunities to get your question answered. And that is everything today. If you like this video, then you can give it a nice little like. If you want to subscribe and see more of what I do, because I do a lot of fashion based stuff, lifestyle based stuff and style based stuff, then you can by using a subscribe button that can be located anywhere on this webpage here. Kishi Kaisei t-shirt coming out tonight at 7 PM on askm8.bigcartel.com. A lot of dots. And now that is everything. Bye.